everyone, in this video we are going to talk about pragmatics, one of the important branch in English linguistics. Pragmatics focused on meaning context. It does not only study what words mean literally, but also what speakers intend, how messages are interpreted, and how context influences meaning. One clear example of pragmatics in daily life is public signs. These signs are short, simple, and sometimes incomplete grammatically, but people still understand their meaning perfectly because of shared social context. In this video, we will analyze 10 common public signs and explain their pragmatic meaning. Number 1. No smoking area, or in Indonesian language, kawasan dilarang merokok. It means do not smoke. The illusionary force is a prohibition with implied consequences for violation. The context public station adds authority to the command, making it more than a polite request. Number 2, welcome to Tanjung Priok Station, or in Indonesian language is Selamat datang di stasiun Tanjung Priok. The sign performs an expressive speech act Selamat datang or welcome, combined with a directive function guiding traffic flow through arrows and destination labels. The greeting creates a hospitable context while simultaneously commanding navigation behavior. The presupposition is that readers need wayfinding assistance and will comply with the directional guidance. Number 3. Toilet or restroom. The sign performs a directive speech act guiding users to the appropriate facility. It implicitly commands use this restroom if you need toilet facilities. The inclusion of the wheelchair symbol creates an inclusive presupposition that accessibility is provided, carrying the implicator of legal compliance with disability rights. The dual labeling, toilet and restroom, acknowledge different English varieties and maximize comprehension. Number 4. Ticket counter. The sign performs a representative or informative speech act identifying the function of this space as a ticket counter. It carries the presupposition that users need to purchase tickets here, and the implicator that staff assistance is available. The bilingual labeling in Indonesian loket or in English ticket counter assumes a diverse audience requiring language accommodation for successful transaction initiation. Number 5 is OS or emergency alarm button. The sign pragmatically functions as a directive, instructing people where and how to call for help in emergencies. The red color is OS symbol and hand icon work together to communicate urgency and the specific action needs pressing the button. The Indonesian text provides additional context about when to use and what happens after activation. It is both informational and regulatory, marking an important safety feature while implicitly discouraging misuse through its explicit emergency designation. Number 6, maintenance in progress. It means warning avoid this area or proceed with caution. It is presupposed ongoing work creates hazards and implicates legal liability protection for the facility, shifting responsibility to users who ignore the warning. Number 7. Emergency exit. The sign performs a directive speech act, exit here, during emergencies. It presupposes danger may occur and implicates legal safety compliance, with conditional meaning activate only in crisis situation. Number 8. Map geographical Tanjung Priok station. The sign performs a representative or informative speech act, providing wayfinding and information. It presupposes users need navigation assistance and pricing transparency, implicating the station's role as an interchange hub requiring comprehensive route guidance. Number 9. Caution slipper floor, or in Indonesian language, awas lantai licin. The sign performs a directive speech act warning. Be careful, avoid slipping. It presupposes a wet or hazardous floor condition and implicates liability protection for the facility, shifting responsibility to users who ignore the warning. Number 10. Prohibits from bringing objects with strong odor. Dilarang membawa benda berbau tajam in Indonesian language, right? It's mean bilingual imperative. In Indonesian, dilarang membawa, or in English, prohibits bringing, functions as a directive illusionary act, reinforced by durian icon for implicit threat of penalty. Prioritizing, prioritizing collective harmony in Indonesian context. So, in conclusion, public signs may look simple, but they actually carry a lot of meaning. People understand these signs not only by reading the words, but also by considering the situation and social rules around them. Through pragmatics, we can see that communication in real life is not just about what is said, but about how messages are understood in everyday context. Thank you for watching this video. Now, let's move the next one explained by my friend. Goodbye.
Semiotics icon that grows out secret is a universal, recognized symbol that directly resembles what it represents a prohibition on smoking. Index, the sign's placement in this specific station area indicates this is enforces no smoking zone, pointing to Indonesian public health regulation. Symbol, the red color conventionally signifies prohibition or danger across cultures, while the Indonesian text dilarang merokok and di seluruh area stasiun relies on learning language conversation to communicate the complete meaning to Indonesian speakers. Next, semiotics. Icon that genre arrows directly represent the physical direction vehicles so follow a pictorial resemblance to movement or flow. Index, the sign overhead placement at the terminal entrance indexly points to the actual destination below it, creating a spatial relation between sign and reference. Symbol Selamat Datang, Welcome, Terminal Busway, and place names like Kota are arbitrary linguistic symbol requiring knowledge of bahasa Indonesia to decode the blue color symbolic represent official, governmental, authority, and wayfinding convention. Next, semiotics. Icon that pictograms of men, women, and wheelchair directly resembles toilet user visual representation easily recognizable across cultures. Index, the sign placement at the doorway basically points to the actual toilet location behind it, creating a cause-effect relation between sign and space. Symbol Wars, toilet, and restroom are arbitrary linguistic symbols requiring knowledge of English. The blue color conventionally symbolizes public facilities or sanitation in international signage systems. Next, semiotics. Icon, the pictogram of hand raising and button, iconically resembles the physical action required to activate the emergency alarm direct visual interaction. Index, the red color source indexly point to danger or emergency situation triggering learning association with urgency and crisis response system. Symbol, tombol alarm darurat, a emergency alarm button, and the warning text are arbitrary linguistic symbol regarding Indonesian language knowledge. Source is an international recognizes distress symbol transcending specific language. Punctuation as universal emergency code. Next, semiotics. Icon, the train or ticket symbol on the sign iconically represent the commuter rail service through pictorial resemblance to transportation imagery. Index, the sign placement above the ticket counter window specifically index the actual location where ticketing transaction occur, creating a spatial connection between signature and service point. Symbol, locket, commuter line and commuter line ticket counter are arbitrary linguistic symbol. Locket, Indonesian for counter or booth, regulates culture, knowledge, while commuter line as a branded term symbolizing Jakarta commuter rail system. The blue color symbolically represents official transit authority and corporate branding. Next, semiotics. Icon, the pictogram of hand praising and button, iconically resembles the physical action required to activate the emergency alarm direct visual instruction. Index, the red color and source indexly point to danger or emergency situation triggering learning association with urgency and crisis response system. Symbol, tombol alarm darurat, or emergency alarm button, and the warning text arbitrary linguistic symbol regarding Indonesian language knowledge source is internationally recognizes district symbol transcending specific language punctuation as a universal emergency code. Next, icon, the triangular warning symbol with a figure sleeping iconically represents the hazard of falling on wet or slippery surface, visual mimicry of the danger itself. Index, the yellow color indexly signal question or warning in safety confusion the sign's physical placement on the floor that recall index the location of the hazard with area undergoing maintenance. Symbol, maintenance in progress or arbitrary English was triggering in linguistic knowledge to decode the triangle shape symbolically represent warning or caution in universal safety signal system, punctuation as cultural learning danger marker. Next, semiotics. Icon, the pictogram of running figure iconically represent a person evacuating direct visual representation of emergency escape action. Index, the arrow indexly points to the physical direction of the emergency exit road green color. Index, safety or permission to process in international safety standards. Symbol, emergency exit or arbitrary English was regular in linguistic knowledge. The green-white color combination symbolically represents safe egress in globally standardized safety signal system. Punctuation as learning emergency wayfinding codes. Next, semiotics. Icon, the map iconically represents the actual geographical layout of Tanjung station area visual resemblance to physical theory Territory, the road lines mimic actual train paths. Index, color symbols, and road numbers indexly point to specific destination and service. The sign location within the station indexing you are here in relation to the map area. Symbol, Station Tanjung Priok Tarif KRL, commuter and station names area. Arbitrary linguistic symbol, regular Indonesian language, knowledge, the KRL, Kereta Rel Listrik, branding, symbolically represent Jakarta, commuter rail system identity. Next, semiotics. Icon, the triangular warning symbol with a sleeping figure, iconically represent the hazard of falling a slippery surface to the visual mimicry of the danger. Index, yellow, color indexly signal caution and safety, confession the shine, floor placement directly index the location of the slippery hazard area symbol. Awas lantelation question slippery floor are arbitrary Indonesian or Siguran language. Knowledge the triangle shape symbolic repression warning or danger in universal safety signal system. Next, semiotics icon the durian fruit image iconically represent the actual fruit. 2. Visual resemblance, recognizable speaker, spherical shape. Index, the crossed out circle indexly signal, prohibition, red color. Index, danger or restriction in universal safety confession. Symbol, dilarang membawa benda berbau tajam, prohibited from bringing object with strong other or arbitrary linguistic. Symbol, regular Indonesian or English. Knowledge, the prohibition circle is a cultural learning symbol, meaning for him forbidden. Thank you.
The first linguistic landscape. This represents monolingual dominance of Indonesia, Bahasa Indonesia, in public space, asserting national identity and linguistic authority. The absence of English or other languages in public transit areas suggests prioritization of local population over international visitors. The sign functions as regulatory discourse that shapes behavior and reinforces state power in public space. Its positioning and official design marks as institutional or governmental territory rather than private or informal space. The second linguistic landscape. This demonstrates monolingual Indonesian signage in critical transportation infrastructure, reinforcing Bahasa Indonesia as the dominant language of public mobility. The use of busway and English loanword integrate into Indonesia shows linguistic hybridity while maintaining overall Indonesian language hegemony. The sign functions as top-down official discourse that organizes public space, asserts state control over transportation system, and constructs national identity through language choices in high visibility transit infrastructure. Third, linguistic landscape. This represents English only bilingual nomenclature, British toilet, American restroom, without Indonesian translation, suggesting linguistic globalization in tourist or transit infrastructure. The choice signals Indonesian positioning within international mobility network, prioritizing foreign visitor navigation over local monolingual speakers. However, the universal pictogram compensates for linguistic exclusivity, creating multimodal accessibility. This exemplifies bottom-up practical multilingualism where English serves as lingua franca for Wi-Fi, while iconic symbols ensure functionally transcends language barriers. Fourth, linguistic landscape. This demonstrates official bilingualism Indonesian English in commercial transit infrastructure, reflecting language policy for tourism and modernization. Commuter line as an English brand shows corporate linguistic globalization while locate maintains local linguistic identity. This top-down bilingual signage serves dual function, asserting Indonesian as the national language while accommodating international users, positioning Jakarta transit system within global urban mobility standards. The coexistence reveals Indonesia's negotiation between nationalist language ideology and pragmatic multilingualism in public sectors. The fifth, linguistic landscape. The sign shows official bilingualism, Indonesian English, with universal source symbolism. Indonesian dominates, tombol alarm darurat, asserting national language authority, while English ensures international accessibility. The stop-tone safety signage prioritize emergency cohesion over monolingual nationalism. Reflection state policy that crisis communication transcends language barriers in public infrastructure. The sixth, linguistic landscape. This shows English monolingualism in safety signage, prioritizing international standards over local language accessibility. The choice reflects globalism, safety protocol where English dominates technical or industrial communication. This bottom-up operational signage reveals how maintenance or safety industries adopt English as default, potentially excluding non-English speakers from critical hazard information in Indonesian public infrastructure. 7. Linguistic landscape. English monolingualism reflects international safety standards over local language needs. This top-down regulatory signage shows global building codes dominating linguistic choices, potentially excluding non-English speakers from critical emergency information in Indonesian infrastructure. 8. Linguistic landscape. This shows Indonesian monolingualism in transit wide-finding, asserting national language dominance in public infrastructure. The absence of English translation reflects nationalist language policy, prioritizing local users over international travelers, marking this as domestic focused transit rather than tourist-oriented infrastructure. 9th, linguistic landscape. This shows Indonesian monolingualism in safety signage, prioritizing local language over international accessibility. Unlike other sessions with English safety signs, this reflects inconsistent language policy in public infrastructure, potentially excluding non-Indonesian speakers from critical hazard warning. The last linguistic landscape, public signage, mixes Indonesian official with English global accessibility at Jakarta Transit, signaling hybrid identity, tourism orientation, and authority via visual semiotics.